Hello everybody, Princess Bear here, and we're back at the Yacht Club Resort.
Unfortunately, we're going to Yachtsman Steakhouse. It's been a while.
Yes, I'm trying to go to the clean slate. I don't know if you guys have been long enough to remember that we did not love this place last time, but it's been a very long time, and they're reopened. So now it's time to give them another shot.
And the menu's changed.
Yeah, so time for their YouTube redemption of sorts.
Be sure to ahoy.
Here they go.
Ooh, that's really good. I think you will like that. It's a good day to rosé. I love the richness of this one. It's very much like a on the harsher tones, more like a red. It's very delicious and bright, refreshing. There's a little bit of floral in it, not too much. I would give it maybe 3.5 out of 5 grapes. It's one I'm gonna enjoy drinking.
So much wine lately. It's 100% the princess's fault. Not many things in this channel are her fault when something goes wrong, but the wine is always her fault. This one wine, I believe, takes the rosé term a bit literally. It's light and sweet. It's a bit tart on the back end. Very fruit forward without being overpowering. It's good adult grape juice. 3.5 out of 5 plus.
Our friend, the gluten-free vegan bread, is back in action, but this time we have Earth Balanced butter and some roasted garlic with olive oil. I'm anxious for this roasted garlic with olive oil, so I'm just gonna ward off vampires right now. Take a whole chunk and put it here. Oh yeah, like butter. Like butter. It's got a beautiful kick to it. It's like nice, perfectly smoked garlic. Love that. I'm gonna give that 3.5 out of 5 garlics. And then I'm gonna do just like Earth Balanced butter. I love that this bread is actually still warm, so my butter will melt, which I appreciate, because most of the time these are room temperature. Also good. I think I like the gluten-free bread better when it's warm. And you can actually enjoy it. The butter, I would give that like a 3 out of 5. But now I'm gonna do both. So a little bit of butter. That's a lot. A little bit. Some garlic. Cheers. That is the ultimate vegan gluten-free garlic bread. If I could put like a little salt on it too, oh, perfection. That is how you eat this bread. It is the best. This is the best iteration of the gluten-free bread and accompaniments that I've had in a while. Is Yachtsman going to redeem itself with this? Who knows?
It seems as if Disney is finally giving me a new hill to die on. I feel for our gluten-free and gluten-intolerant community. However, stop making plant-based people suffer gluten-free bread. plant-based bread can taste a lot better than any of the gluten-free rolls we've ever had on Disney property. You got the money. You can do 2 kinds. I love this like serving of the fresh garlic and the olive oil, all cooked up in its little husk. It was kind of a pain to apply. I'm still taking it. Remember, there's never too much thing. There's too much garlic ever. And just enough garlic so I feel like Godzilla. 3 out of 5 claws. This is actually a lot better warm. We have a little bit of the earth balance butter. So inconsistent, we find a restaurant that has earth balance. We're always happy when they do.
There's always a DB in there. Not quite yet. So
it's still that super dense sponginess we've come to expect from the gluten-free rolls, but it is much improved by being warm. I think that's the secret. That if you have to eat the gluten-free rolls, ask for it fresh and hot. You'll suffer less. Let's try both here. A little bit of garlic. A little bit of butter. Both is superior, but it's still getting a 3 out of 5 cost from me. Here we are on the bear side. We got 2 kinds of bread. We got this wheat-looking roll with some herbs in it, and then we have like a oniony pull-apart sort of bread. Let's try this first. We got some sea salt butter over here, nice and whipped. Comes off super easy. Try to get it light so I don't die. Okay. It's like light. It's like croissant level light and fluffy. And the onion balances really well without being overpowering. The butter helps with that. Do that. 3 out of 5 claws. Then we have this delicious looking roll here, which is decidedly not as warm as everything else we've had tonight. Got some fruit in here, looks like. A little bit more butter. Ooh, yes. That's just it. Tastes like cranberry. At 3.5 out of 5 claws. It's definitely making me hungry.
I've not had a wedge like this since 50s prime time. It's a smaller little wedge piece. It's got I don't know what this is on top. With flakes, I think. Scallions. And some sauce. I suppose I'm gonna be a savage and just basically paying to cut my own salad. Now we can add the sauce. And I can toss it. Well, these pieces are still a little large. That was some work, and I'm still going to have to do some work after I try this. So, Mountain salad. Dressing's not bad. Salad is fresh. It's crunchy. It's good. I have no complaints. It's your average salad. I would give it 3 out of 5 salads. I don't think it's minus points because I have to chop it myself. I know it's a wedge, but I feel like it's pretty on the plate. It's a little lazy.
Apparently our princess is not paying to work on her food. I'm sure that one of you can tell us the purpose of a wedge salad. Honestly, I would have just tried to eat the whole thing uncut like a savage. But you know me. I'm a bear after all. Look at the decorated plate. It almost looks like part of the dish, but it's not. It's just the design. And then you have like a baby tomato and like 2 shavings of radish. I'd like to see more of that. For a plant-based dressing, it's grade A. Got a nice crunch to it, a nice consistency in the dressing. It tastes like a fresh wedge salad. It's light. It gets ready for the meal. I've got no plans. It's not gonna do anything special for me. I'm not gonna remember this salad like I would have the one at Fitness Prime Time, but it's a salad. 2.5 out of 5 claws. Well, all right. So I tried to surprise you guys and give you guys the ability to decide what I was gonna eat tonight. I only gave you 30 minutes. I probably should have given you more time, but for those of you that had notifications on, you actually got to decide. Unfortunately, it was half and half for steak and fish. So I got fish for an appetizer and I'll get steak for the main. So we have this humongous shrimp cocktail here. Comes with a little bit of lemon to kind of squeeze over top of it. And then the cocktail sauce is Old Bay based for you Northeasterners that never shut up about Old Bay seasoning. And I know you're out there. I know you're watching too. I love how massive these shrimp are. Bro. We got a little bit of the Old Bay kick. The shrimp are chilled. We cooked them professional ahead of time. It's got a nice seasoning to it. And it whets my appetite. So I'm guessing that it accomplishes its goal. I don't usually like lemon on my shrimp, but it does add a little bit of layers to it. 3 out of 5 plus.
Have you guys ever dined here?
Somehow this is sweet potato and mushroom dumplings. I was thinking this was going to be like Le Cellier style dumplings. This is dumplings on a whole new level. This is like sophisticated dumplings. I see some green beans on here. I'm just going to give it a chance. And I'm going to try everything together. Cheers.
It is really good, and the prime rib is a roasted steak, so it tends to be a little bit more tender. And the fat content's probably the same as a battered rib.
My problem with mushrooms is usually texture. The texture on these is very like soft. It basically melts in your mouth. Accompanied with the sweet potato, it's like a little crisp. It actually balances really well if you eat it all together. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 mushrooms. I was completely surprised at how delicious this dish was. I was not expecting that at all. I came here expecting to hate my food, and I actually don't. Good on you, Yachtsman. About time.
Before I eat this, I remember I'm the uncultured on this channel. This looks like combos in a swamp. Like pizza flavored gas station combos in the swamp. Like swamp water, combo, swamp thingy, mushrooms. It fits. Don't fight me on this. Either way, it's an interesting looking dish. I'll give it that. I don't really know what any of this is. I see some yaniki mushrooms. We have like this roasted beet looking thingy and some green beans. It's got a whole fork full. Judge this dish not by its cover. I think you should. It's packed with flavor. The dumplings, the green beans, the sauce, all work well together. I promise you that it tastes 100 times better than it looks. It's definitely got some different textures, so if you have an issue with like the texture of mushrooms and maybe the dumplings, it might not be the dish for you, but all in all, for a plant-based dish, this feels elevated. like you came to a fancy restaurant and you got something a little fancy. I would actually eat this. I give this a 4 out of 5 plus. So we came to a steakhouse and I got a steak. I had a steak here last time. I wasn't in love with it. And my top steakhouse on the property is still a Gelée, so it's got some big shoes to fill. And they gave me a knife. It's probably a bad idea. Either way, I got the New York strip, medium rare because I don't ruin steaks around here, even if I don't eat them that often. It looks to be cooked absolutely perfectly. As expected, you got a little peppercorn sauce here to dip it in. Let's hope it's not too rough on me. Okay. Alright. Peppercorn sauce has some nice flavor to it. The steak, it's some juicy. It's got a little bit of the fat on it. Gives it a bit more of that savory flavor. It goes down really well. And I do really like the sauce. It's not a steak that I say that I'm going to run and tell my friends about, like you gotta come to Yachtsman, but I'm definitely not gonna leave here unsatisfied. If there was any piece of meat that we've had in recent memory that's gonna give me the itis, it's probably gonna be this one. I'm gonna give that a solid 4 out of 5 points. Now, if I could have taken the easier route, I could have got green beans. I could have gotten mashed potatoes. I could have even gotten french fries, honestly. Truffle fries. I got potatoes au gratin. Cheesy, layered potatoes au gratin. A little casserole dish. It's cute, if nothing else. Okay. Nice and savory, big cheesy flavor without being enough to kill even me. Potatoes are nice and thin. Everything is layered, so you don't feel like it's just sitting on top. I would like to see somebody probably do a plant-based version of potatoes au gratin. I wouldn't issue that challenge to one of the chefs at Disney, but this is a solid side. 4.5 out of 5 plus.
Not really digging this dessert. It's like a pineapple coconut combination.
I ordered a quart so that I could immediately drink that after trying this because I feel like it's going to be bad, but the waitress has not brought it yet, so...
Not sure what this sauce is on the top, but I'm just going to spread it.
Nice. Full bite. I'm only dreading this a little. A lot. It just tastes like a nice mousse. It's not really strong in the coconut or the pineapple. It's actually something I would enjoy. I'm surprised. I will eat more bites of this. I will give it 3 out of 5 pineapples. I'm shocked that I like this.
Another restaurant, another princess dessert. And here you got me guys trying it. Actually, when this came out, it looked kind of pretty, like a little like flower on a plate. A little coconut pineapple type flower. So you have like this roasted pineapple circle here on top. The tart beneath. On top of this, like bedded in sauce. Sort of looks marshmallowy. It's got like a banana pudding sort of consistency. A pineapple, coconut. All the flavors go well together without like being too strong of each. This is definitely a tasty dessert. One I could see ordering, but definitely one I could split because it's so rich. I definitely couldn't do a whole one of these. Maybe you split it in 4. I give that a solid 4.5 out of 5 claws.
That will help me with all the coconut flakes. Oh yeah, that is so smooth and light. This is worth every penny. This is a delicious port. 5 out of 5 ports. Oh man, so cherry and flavorful. Wow, I love that. That's good.
Another foray into these dessert wines. I don't think I've had a port. Wow, that hurt a little bit. A little sharp. I think the last time we had a port was the last time we did wine tasting. But here's to getting into port. That's a no for me, fam. Tart. Tastes like a port, but it's just too tart, too sharp, and too sweet for me. As you guys know how I'm about sweet things, so your mileage may vary. 2 out of 5 plus.
Debit Visa.
So Yachtsman, I'm surprised.
Much improved over our last visit.
Yes, I will say that it is better. I'm still not going to give it the best steakhouse on property title, but I did
No.
enjoy my meal and all my food.
And I even enjoyed coconut, so I mean that has to stand for something.
You got to
right?
eat coconut and mushrooms all in one meal. That isn't new. But after what you guys seen, would you guys come to Yachtman? Have you been? And where does it rank on your favorite steakhouse and Disney property? Hit me up in the comments and let me know. Is there any other place you think we should go? Of course, that's going to be a place to find us. Hit the notification bell if you want to see other videos like this, and
We have new videos 5 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday.
we'll see you soon.
Be sure to subscribe
You heard the girl.
and like this video for the water. Oh, and really do subscribe and like this video because both of those things really help us out a lot. More than you realize, but it's a lot. It's a lot.